All right, so this is episode 6 of the Really Q podcast. Today we're talking about the truth about entrepreneurship.
All right, Ethan. So, talking about the truth of entrepreneurship here today, what is something you wish you knew before starting your first business?
Oftentimes, people ask me, what do I wish I knew now? Or what do I know now that I wish I had known when I started my first business? For me, I would say the value of relationships. Relationships is everything in business. When I started my first business as mortgage broker, honestly, it was super transactional. I provided really good service to my client. They paid me, and I thought that was it. But it really wasn't until if I'm being honest, really got towards the end of my fitness business, getting into my media company, that I understood the value of relationships, because relationships will get you in rooms you may or may not have access to. Just approaching the relationships with a attitude of service is something that I wish I had known outside of the money. It's like, if you honor your relationship, the money will come, but everything isn't just about the money. It's like safeguard the relationships. That's something that I wish I had known first starting out in business.
Okay. So, talk to me about some of the hard parts of entrepreneurship for you, and how did you get through it?
I think, entrepreneurship is filled with tons of hardships. And at different stages of my entrepreneurial journey, I had different challenges, really wondering if I was good enough. That was a big one. We talk about imposter syndrome, but, self-doubt and wondering if I am really good enough to pull this thing off. I think not even just related to business, but in life in general, that's one of my greatest insecurities, right? Like being good enough. Through years of therapy, I've realized that is directly linked to some childhood trauma. Really, it's also been one of the greatest drivers of why I continue to work so hard in life and in business, is because I want to prove to myself that I am. And so just getting over that has been a major challenge. The way that I do that is just by doing the work, having undeniable evidence that I am good enough because I have done. Something else then was really building out a team, realizing that no man is an island. There's no glory in doing everything yourself. And so realizing that, and then building out a team with individuals who not even share your passion, but who can see your vision, but see themselves and them being fulfilled and realizing their vision within the vision that you have. Dan Martell talks about having, your job as a business owner, as a founder, to have a vision so big that your team members can realize and realize fulfillment within your vision. And that has been something that has been a challenge, but I recognize that the reason that's been a challenge was primarily because of me, because I did not know how to find good people and develop them. It's still something that I am challenged with, that I'm working through, but I recognize my inefficiency. And so I'm working on that. And I can say that to date, I have the best team that I have ever had with Lifestyles Digital Media Group across all of my businesses. Like, this is hands down the best team that I've ever had. Now they are also helping me build and grow so that we can safeguard our energy within the walls of Lifestyles. I've been asked, what's the difference between those who succeed long-term and those who don't? And honestly, I know it just really boils down to how much suffering you can endure and how hard you're willing to work. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's not easy. And, I often battle myself with, if I had to do it all over again, would I? A lot of entrepreneurs say, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. But I don't know if I feel like that. If I knew how hard it would be and is continuing to be, I probably would not have done it. With that being said, I do know how hard it is. And it isn't that I wish for it to be easier. I just got better at doing hard. And that's the reality. And so I think success in business and in life is really, how do you successfully navigate the difficult times is really what determines the ultimate success, because anybody could skate past the good times, but how are you navigating the difficult times in business and in life to the end? That's really your ability to navigate it well is really what sets those two groups apart.
So second on how you said about navigating, how do you focus when there's so much pressure? Especially, how did you do it in the beginning?
Pressure is a part of entrepreneurship. And especially in early days when you're just starting out, you're trying to build something that hasn't been built before, and this is all new to you. Pressure is tall. The thing is that what's worked for me is focusing on the task at hand. You know, there's a saying that the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And I believe that. It's like, even though you should acknowledge and have an appreciation for all of the stuff that needs to get done, focusing on the next thing that needs to get done, the thing right in the front of you, is really what's going to help you handle that pressure. And that's why, you know, I refer to it as being in the trenches. Like, my head is down, I'm working. And this is why I work so much, because there's so much to do. And I can't rest until it's done. But the challenge with that is that it's not going to be done. So, you know, you're kind of on this, in this cycle of really which is self-inflicted. At any point in time, you could decide to go out and get a job. I don't have that luxury, because I know that what I'm building, nobody else has built it before, nobody else will build it, and I'm the only one that can. And so I have a duty to the world to realize my greatness. I do what I do, not out of passion, not out of some hopeful and wishful thinking. I do what I do because it's my duty. It's what I was here to do.
Doing what you have to do and doing it for a while. So your honest advice for someone starting a business today?
So the other day I was out to lunch with some friends, and they had indicated that their godbrother wanted to open a business. And, you know, it was a similar business. They opened a media company. And so he asked me if I would have a chat with him, you know, to give him some tips. I got on the call, and this guy said something that I have heard said by many people who have entrepreneurial aspirations, which was, you know, I'm tired of working for people. I want to be my own boss. You know, I want stability, and I don't want to work myself ragged. Like, I don't want to be stressed out working. And I told him straight up, I was like, bro, if that's what you want, you need to go find yourself an easy job. There's no shame in that. A lot of people underestimate how difficult entrepreneurship is. And they have this glorified, especially with social media now, this glorified idea of what entrepreneurship is. And I can tell you that entrepreneurship, especially when you're just starting out, is everything but glamorous. It's lonely, it's depressing, it's dark, it's scary, and it's not for everybody. And so if you are going in thinking that this will be easier than working for somebody else on a 9-to-5, I tell you, this will not. This will be the single hardest mentally, physically, emotional thing that you will ever do in your life if you want to do it at a high level. And so if you are one that has entrepreneurial aspirations, just get clarity, make sure that this is really what you want, and understand and go into it with the mindset that this will be the hardest thing that you will ever do. You are not going to be able to take it easy. You will have to eat shit for years. Entrepreneurship is not for the lighthearted. It's not for the faint. It's hard work every day, 7 days a week. And so if you want an easy life, do not talk about you want to be an entrepreneur. If you have the desire and it's in you to build something great. And the only way you can do that is through entrepreneurship. I encourage you to go out there and get it. If you're building something, just know that the hard days are part of the process. Don't expect ease, but expect growth. Stay focused, but stay flexible. And remember, no one's going to want it for you but you. So until next time, get uncomfortable and do the work, because the world needs your greatness. Peace.